introduction? Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. That's what you got to say. Go on then. Now she's camera shy. Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. So today's video is Lila Rose's 4-month update. Fingers crossed she stays quiet for this whole video. So I love watching these videos, and by this time the majority of people were saying, I can't believe my baby's so big, I can't believe how quick it's gone. Not me. No. I think because of COVID, the last 4 months have absolutely dragged. I look at her and I do think that she just suddenly looks big, and I do want her to go back to being the small little newborn that she was, but I can't help feeling like the last 4 months have dragged. So I think that's more to do with coronavirus, but it's not a bad thing. It means that everything's kind of dragged out instead of feeling like I'm looking back over the last 4 months and like, where's it gone? So the biggest thing that's changed leading up to the 4-month mark is that she's suddenly found her voice, and I'm talking found her voice. Shh, gotta stay quiet. Like, we were walking around Home Bargains and she went from being this quiet little monkey that like never said anything to suddenly she would not shut up. I was walking around Home Bargains thinking, I don't even know what's happened to our baby, like this is not her personality. But ever since then, even though she's quiet now because the camera's on and I'm talking, she just doesn't shut up. I absolutely love it. I feel like she's finally starting to communicate with us, even though it just comes out in like random babbles. It's just so lovely. On the same lines as well, we've had a couple of her first giggles, and that happened about a week ago, I think, and I will insert a video clip if I find her first giggle. Oh, did you hear it? Oh my gosh. But I wouldn't say that she's properly giggling yet. I would say that it just keeps coming out as little like and that's about it. I better sound like a right plonker doing that, but that's the only way I can explain it. So we haven't had like a proper giggle, but she is finding things a little bit more interesting. There you go, there's a perfect example of how she just loves to talk, don't you? She's also doing really well in terms of rolling. So I've spoken about in my last 2 updates that I have just done no tummy time whatsoever, and I was really starting to worry that she was going to be like slow in her development in terms of like her strength. But the other week we actually just decided that we'd put her down on her tummy time, see what it's like, see if it's improved, and she ended up in... Sorry. Oh, I can't concentrate because she's so loud. Yeah, we put her down on tummy time to see how well she was doing, and suddenly, out of nowhere, she was so strong. Her head was right up, she was looking around, she was feeling for toys in front of her, and it was like all that time I was worrying that I wasn't doing enough tummy time or wasn't really doing any tummy time, and it's just happened so naturally. So I'm really pleased with that. So on the same line, she's also rolling as well, but she only rolls to her side, and it's mainly her left side. She hasn't quite got herself from like back to front, and she definitely hasn't ever gone front to back, but it's all in her own time. So yeah, she prefers it on her left side, and we found that she actually falls asleep so much easier because she can get herself into a comfortable position. So recently it's been so much easier in terms of being able to just like put her down in her cot when you think she's a little bit sleepy and she sends herself off to sleep. Oh my god, that has been such a lifesaver, because before I couldn't deal with just constantly for like half an hour trying to rock her, and then you'd put her down and then she would wake up immediately anyway. Now if she wasn't babbling now, you would see that she's suddenly started becoming really interactive with toys, and this is just, oh, it's the best. I feel like the newborn stage isn't as fun as like 4 months onwards, because she's suddenly like really noticing her toys. She loves it when you play with her. Look, what's this one? Your octopus, you love this one, don't you? So like I've just done there, it's so much easier to distract her when she's into her toys and things. But yeah, she's really excited by toys now. She's loves holding them, she's feeling them. And then we have had occasionally where she is bringing them to her mouth as well. So that's like the next developmental stage where everything goes into their mouths. Is that better? Yeah, that's better. So in terms of how much she's eating, she's still having 7-ounce bottles every 4 hours, and that seems to work quite well for her. We don't actually wait for her to cry to have food. We are just in a routine of every 4 hours. She is slightly under what it says on the formula, what she should be getting in a 24-hour period, because she kind of like wakes up at 6 o'clock-ish, and then if we can't get enough ounces in all the way through the day before she goes to sleep at 8, then she's about 28 ounces a day per 24-hour period because she sleeps all the way through the night. I have been a little bit worried about that, but she's gaining weight really fine, and I just think for her, she's quite like a petite baby, so I think for her that's natural, that's normal. She is still sleeping 9 hours. We're trying to actually bring it forward. She used to go 8 p.m. to about 6 in the morning, and now we're trying to bring it forward to go about 7, but we're very hit and miss with her waking times at the moment. So I think last night she actually did about 11 hours, which was quite random. We've had a couple 12-hour nights as well, which was really unusual but lovely. You're a pretty good sleeper, aren't you? You have been since about 8 weeks old, thank God. And like I said, she is starting to send herself to sleep, so it's so much easier. I do a bottle before bed, and I used to hold her until she fell asleep and then try and put her down. But we have now started feeding her. I hold her for a little bit because I love her nighttime cuddles, and then I just pop her down while she's still quite awake. Even if it takes 10 or 15 minutes, as long as you kind of walk away and you don't look at her and distract her, she ends up kind of rolling around, getting comfortable, and then settling herself to sleep. So you're doing very well in terms of sleeping, aren't you? And if there is a sleep regression for 4 months, I am very nervous about it because I'm so used to getting my sleep now. But yeah, she's a very calm baby. I feel like I haven't quite worked out her personality yet, but I think that's probably quite normal for about 4 months old. When she was younger, I thought she was the kind of baby that always wanted attention. I'm not so sure now that she can very easily settle herself, and I'm not so sure now that she's quite content sometimes just sitting in a bouncer on her own, and she'll have a toy and she'll quite happily play with that. I feel like suddenly when we've hit the 4-month mark, or just about a week before hitting the 4-month mark, it's just suddenly has become easier. I think especially now that she can call out and kind of say what she's feeling in her own way. I think the last time we weighed her was about a week ago. I really should weigh her before I make this video, but it was 12 pound 9 ounces, and that is very much in a steady weight gain of what she should be gaining from her birth weight. But when it comes to clothes, she's still in some 0 to 3 month stuff. Some of the bigger sizes like the George clothing, I find that that does carry on for another month. We found that with the newborn stage as well. And she's wearing a Primark jeans today, and I do recommend that if you've got a baby that's in those in-between sizes, Primark clothing is brilliant because it's the slightly smaller. The 3 to 6 to me is like an in-between size of a 0 to 3 and a 3 to 6, because all of her other 3 to 6 clothes are way too big for her. That is why we did the Primark haul that I did a couple days ago, and she's fitting in those beautifully. In terms of my side of things, to be honest, I've struggled quite a bit with kind of like postpartum hormones. I've been a little bit up and down. It actually got to the point where I was prescribed citalopram, but after thinking about it a little bit and talking to my parents, I wasn't quite certain that was the right thing to do, to go on to that certain pill. So me and Rick decided that we would try and work on things elsewhere and see if it's more to do with the fact that I wasn't really eating a lot. My energy was really low because I wasn't eating a lot. So I definitely get my good days and my bad days, and sometimes it is really difficult because you don't really know why you're feeling snappy. Just those little things that create memories, like her first shopping spree and doing her first swim, that has really helped us to feel like we're actually more of a family now rather than two people with a baby in between us. I also had a cesarean, if you haven't seen my previous updates, and I definitely feel like now is where I'm starting to feel definitely more normal. I don't really get any twinges anymore. I feel like I could just do a workout properly, proper sit-ups. Obviously I do try and take it a bit easier, but it is starting to feel a lot more normal. Still got like a bit of postpartum weight around the belly, which I won't show you today because it's pretty much the same as my last updates. The other thing I've noticed with postpartum is that my skin has been really bad, and I don't know if you've noticed in my other videos, but I do get really bad eczema, and literally ever since giving birth I have had nothing but flare-ups. I did have that at the start of the pregnancy as well, where I think the first couple of weeks my skin was completely uncontrollable, and the usual stuff that I do to normally control my eczema was just not working at all. I think because it's happened all over my chest, which I've never had in my life, all the years of having eczema, and because that happened at the start of the pregnancy and now it's happening afterwards, I'm assuming that it's more to do with like hormones. So that's been really difficult because obviously I really love YouTubing, and it just makes me not want to pick up a camera when I'm really struggling with my skin. Obviously foundation sometimes just doesn't cover everything. It doesn't cover when it's really sore, and when you're having a really bad skin day and it's all kind of open and sore on your face, the last thing I feel like doing is putting on makeup and making it worse, but also getting on camera. To me it makes me feel quite vulnerable as a person, but that's just something that I've always felt. But if you watch my next videos coming up, you will see one of those will be a vlog, and I do talk a little bit about it and how in that vlog I decided that even with a bad skin day I was going to go ahead and make the vlog, because I've always said to you guys that I want to be real, and if real means that I'm going to do a video on a day where my skin is bad, then that is what I'm going to do. So yeah, that is everything for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't hit that subscribe button already and you would like to do so, then please don't forget to hit it before you leave, because it really helps to support my channel. And we will see you guys. She's down here, but she is listening. We will see you guys in the next video. Bye.